SMU Forum 25 years ago.
Wow.
20, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say 20 plus for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Been a long time. I've kept up with it. I did the Doak Walker
Mm-hmm.
Award, which when it was in Fort Worth, I don't know if it was still in Fort Worth or not,
Mm-hmm.
but I did that one over there. And then now, 20-something years later.
Mm-hmm.
There won't be 20-something years after this. If there is, I'll be 91. I don't know why.
Okay. Just speaking of today and today's athletes, I mean, you're staying up and doing these games and stuff like that. Athletes today much different than when they played.
I don't necessarily think they're different. You know, an athlete has the mentality of an athlete, I think, generationally speaking, is pretty much the same. The only things that we have differently today from our athletes is social media. It's covered. Sports is covered 24/7. You can get anything right now if you have a phone and have the apps. You can get anything from soccer to billiards, basketball, football, baseball, swimming. Anything you want right now is streaming, and you can just dial it up and get all you want. Radio talk is, it's huge. Television now, simulcast, huge. We are probably less fan-based media as opposed to opinion-based media. We have learned, or been one of the questions those of us that are baby boomers is when we got out of football, I did, was will you be critical of team, former team or players? That was always the big thing. Basically what they're saying is, will you really tell us what you're thinking, or will you sugarcoat it? And that was always something the media always wanted to hold against former players and that go into media. It was that, well, we're not going to be honest. And then there are those of us that are in this business that are too honest and always take the negative because trying to impress somebody writing about them. So it definitely is media driven, and not just because of that, but I think the exposure for athletes is much greater. And because of that, successful athletes and the way the times are now, money is just amazing. Just amazing how many millions of dollars you can make. You can win an Olympic downhill now and probably endorse how many millions from the suit you wore to the watches to the glasses to the ski to the poles, ice. I mean, the money that we're seeing today, primarily because of broadcast rights and sponsors, is just astronomical. And with the money, I think athletes get a perception that, hey, what I've got to say is really important, when in fact it really isn't. It really isn't. And I think they also think they're pretty smart. And most times when they talk, we're convinced they're not. And so it is definitely different in that regard. And then in athletically, we now have trainers, nutritionists, stretch gurus, and I never dreamed that this would. I remember in Pittsburgh when we wanted to go to a chiropractor for the first time. I didn't know anything about it, but Joe Green would go to a chiropractor on Sunday morning and wanted me to go. And I remember the Steelers frowning on chiropractors, going to a chiropractor. Frowning on anything. I remember when you had to get surgery done by the doctor on the team, and he may be an alcoholic. But then all of a sudden the athlete said, no, I'm gonna go get my own doctor. So it's been I would say it's been a good change. I don't think there's anything bad from it. I think it's all been good.
So here we sit in Cowboys land. What do you think it'll take for Jerry to get the winner that he wants?
It's got a lot of pieces together. I think he needs some receivers. Definitely needs some receivers. I'm not convinced that. I'm even looking at Dez maybe in the slot if he could find him a couple of burners, a couple of guys can play. But I'm like a lot of people, being a Cowboy fan, I know we have Beasley in the slot and Williams on the outside, but I do think you need some people that can threaten deep. Guys that can make big catches, guys can get separation. You got the quarterback, you got the running back. I think when your line's healthy and is as good as there is, your defense, while I thought may have been somewhat of a setback last year, is potentially sitting. They've made good drafts, the Cowboys. They've headed in the right. They're headed in the right direction. I just think they need some people that can score, because one of the things I learned from Jimmy Johnson, you score throwing the football. You win with defense, but you score with throwing the football.
That being said, what do you think they should do with Dez? We're talking about renegotiating his contract and all this stuff, but what do you think they should do?
With Dez?
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay him, what, $13 million? I wouldn't give him no $13 million. Give him, let's see, what could I give Dez if I wanted to give Dez? What's 4 or 5? That's a lot of money. You take $5 million? Would you take $5 million?
In a heartbeat.
Yeah. Everybody? Yeah, I'll take $5 million. So, players have a lot of pride. Dez loves playing for Dallas, but yeah, he's got to take. I don't know what their cap. I don't know what it is. They may give him 8. I don't know what they're going to do, or let him have the 13. I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue, but I wouldn't pay him $13 million.
Anything I didn't ask you that you'd like to add?
Are you an OU fan?
I do enjoy watching.
No, I don't have it.
Okay.
It's good to be down in Dallas. We don't get down here. Matter of fact, I don't know the last time we've been in Dallas. We're actually going to leave today and go see my daughter. She just moved here. She lives down by SMU, right? Somewhere. Huh? Is that by SMU? Yeah. So we're going to go down there and have lunch with her this afternoon, see her condo, and then we're going to go over to Park Place and pick up a car, and then what are we going to do after that? We like it. We like it here. Listen, I used to live in Westlake, Texas. And started my horse operation here in Texas. Started at Westlake. I ended up with 43 acres by buying out my neighbors, and then Bunker Hunt had what is now Vaquero. And that's where I ran my horses. I cleaned those lakes out for all the people that are watching. Those lakes at Vaquero, all of them are full of bass. Those are my bass. I put them in there. I cleaned them out. I dredged them, filled them up, put up the fence. I had a brand new fence around it. Took all the trees. I even told Ross Perot Jr., I said, I buried all the trees I pushed up. And they, oh my God. So you got to have satellites now to find all the trees.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Oh, man. Thanks, guys.